I messed up for a moment there. I messed up for a moment there. I forgot to turn my mic on. I forgot to turn my mic on, 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 on. Forgot to turn it on, on. What am I doing, dude? On, forgot to turn it on, on. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Hold on, let me do my usual social media promotion and stuff. Every time I go live, I always gotta clean my nose. What's popping, son? First of all, greetings, everyone. It is I, of course, your one and only multi-potentialite, neurodivergent host, the Kosmic Jedi. Welcome back to my channel. As the title suggests, we are talking Supergirl. Saw it yesterday with my brother, and it truly is forgettable, man. It's a truly forgettable movie. I want to see if I can do this live real quick. I don't want to rush it, but supposed to do it yesterday. Was not in the mood. In fact, initially I just wanted to get it done and cut it off, but I thought, okay, should I just record a review and then slap it on YouTube? I don't know these days, man. I don't know. I don't know when it comes to YouTube has its own thing as well that's going on behind closed doors. I'm like, whatever. As long as I enjoy what I'm doing, however way you spread the video YouTube, whether you show people or don't show people, hey, tired of the jumping through hoops, man. All the games. Tired of all the games, son. We are bored of the games. We are done with the games. We are tired. We are officially tired of your games. All right, let's do this, shall we? Can I create a poll here? I think I can, right? I think I'll wait for later. I'll wait till later if I create a poll. First impressions, yeah, it's a dud, man. I thought some people were just pissed off because they didn't like Milly Alcock as their chosen Supergirl, but nah, people weren't people aren't giving bad scores for the movie because they're trying to be spiteful or anything. Millie, first of all, Millie, she's cool. I feel they just gave her bad material. I actually got to like her as Supergirl. Again, the first introduction we got in Corn Sweat Superman, poorly done. Poorly done. This might definitely be a very short live, but poorly done. Poorly done, and that's what put me off first with her introduction, and then the trailer. And then out of all the stories they could have chosen to introduce Supergirl to the world for the first time in this James Gunn's vision, I don't even know why they chose the source material and then changed some things from the source material. That's the one thing I don't understand. If you're gonna choose, yeah, DC, man, you guys are not even cooked. You're extinguished. You're disintegrated. You're atomized. You've been, yeah. It's just, it's I'm not in the mood, man. I'm not even. I had energy last time I did the live. This time I'm like, whatever. And that's not even cool. That's not even cool, man. I'm trying to keep up my energy to just do this review, but it just sucks. It just sucks. The main villain that everyone said that they changed him from the original source material. Because when I heard they were doing this particular book the Woman of Tomorrow, the source material, and they were adapting that into the movie. I did my research to go and watch your Jeremy Johns, your Emergency Awesomes to check out what they were going to say about the story, and found out that I mean, not found out when they just like is it New Rockstar? Yeah, they would do the whole breakdown, the story, the panel, even the feel and the look of the comic book. I thought, yo, this looks beautiful. But then when the trailer comes out, the first thing I thought is, well, they don't look the same. You don't have to do scene for scene, shot for shot. No, but if you're going to adapt a thing, the first thing you would think default is the visual. You think they're going to pull from not only the story but the visual. But the visual in the comic doesn't match what we got in the cinema. That's cool. That's gravy. Then the story shows up and I can't stand the villain is such an annoying even the way he I'm trying to avoid spoilers as well, but I might as well, man. I don't know if you guys are going to see it, but I may spoil this. I'm going to hold my tongue. I'm going to hold my tongue for a while. I'm glad that they nerfed crypto due to the story that they adapted. But I wonder if they were going to nerf crypto nonetheless, even if they didn't adapt even though they didn't adapt the story from the comic. I just don't understand how you change quite a number of things. And this lady apparently who wrote this one. This is the first time writing, I think, and they're saying that she's going to go ahead and do Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Maybe it's because they chose this story to adapt. Maybe. But like I said, Milly Alcock, she's not the problem. I actually like her for Supergirl. I just feel the issues is how you introduce her and in Superman in Corn Sweat Superman, and then the the way they chose to change the source material and then how they presented it. There's one part that I really like outside of the action, the emotional beat, the way she played this particular scene when it came to is it Argo? When it came to Krypton being destroyed and then the father puts them in this dome. So I think that's Argo City. Argo City. That acting, which what I found that interesting that I liked about it is she wasn't even speaking English. She was speaking the Kryptonian language, and she was still doing a very very good job of that because I felt her pain. But I was thinking since you guys changed a few things, I wanted to see what it looked like for someone to not know. There's a few issues I don't understand. I have with the story. When she finally came to Earth, and then the yellow sun, you know, activates or she becomes super due to the yellow sun. There was no scene that showed this whole I wish we could have been close to a yellow sun or something to help ourselves in Argo City. Imagine if the yellow sun radiated all of us. We wouldn't have gone through this trauma and pain and unnecessary suffering. She didn't. Hey, Gajil, what's good, my dude? Thanks for joining, man. Heard it was bad, but my lord, yeah, the comic book was much better. Really color. What? Really color and expressive. Doing Wonder Woman, Teen Titans. Yeah, yeah. Doing Wonder Woman and Teen Titans. I couldn't care less because after the original Teen Titans, they messed it up for me with the Teen Titans Go. The original Teen Titans on Cartoon Network, or was it Toonami? Was fire, absolute fire. But I don't, I don't. Wonder Woman and Batman. In fact, the three major guys for me, or four actually: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Flash. I love Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and what's his name, John Stewart. But the four powerhouses for me are Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and Flash. Like if you're going to put them in the real world scenario to say, if shit hits the fan, you can trust these four powerhouses. Even though Batman is not a superhuman or meta human, he's still you need someone like him. Remove the gadgets, you need his brain power. You need the way he thinks, you need the way he views the world. Flash, that's a no-brainer. Once you get into your speed of things, you eventually become the speed god. So when it comes to like external threats, those four pillars I feel are very, very important in world. So when you cast the actors to play these four characters, you don't mess about, man. Especially after Ezra Miller. After Ezra Miller, yo, yo, yo. After Ezra Miller, you can't mess about, man. You cannot mess about. And I heard some rumors that they're pushing forward with Deathstroke and the Bane movie, or I don't know if it's a Deathstroke movie and the Bane movie, which is two movies, or Deathstroke and Bane are going to be in one movie together. Wow, man. Money is something else, boy. Money is something. I'm just seeing people like pissed off, like fire James Gunn, give me the job, and we would do this. There's this one guy I watched on YouTube earlier on. He was like, "Yo, fire these douchebags, give me the job. Let me do the storytelling." Right? And what angers me is you people won't release these movies on HBO Max for free. You won't. You expect us to go and pay to watch these movies. These days, some people are going to eat at home first before they go to the cinema, just so they don't waste money or spend money on popcorn to see a movie that they've heard a lot of people say don't see it, it's trash, and then other people are finding ways to see it through other means. In certain cases, if I hear a lot of negative talk about a particular movie that you're excited to see, but you're like, you know what, it's okay, and you find other ways, yo, peace of mind, son, peace of mind, because these guys are just counting money, just counting money, and there's no longer any more excuses. It's hard to make a movie. It's hard to tell stories. It's hard studio, hard. It's difficult. Finance, money. It's just noise from external, just noise. If I click on this channel, click on this account, this Twitter account, this, oh, you should see what it feels like to make a movie. It's like once you hear that, you become so discouraged after a while. But yet, some of us are in our 30s, early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, 40s, 50s. We grew up in the 80s, 82s, and 83s, and 80s and 90s, and we saw serious movies, man. I could drop your Matrix, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. We could do your Tenet. We could do your Christopher Nolan. We could do, I don't even know where else we could go. But I'm done with the excuses, dude. Either do it or don't do it. Either do it or don't do it. The comics worked. The guys who wrote the stories for the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited series, are they dead? All of them. They did a great job, in my opinion. So if you want to carry on that legacy, it's like you might as well start looking for them like you're looking for the Dragon Balls. Go and find these guys that worked on those series that a lot of us unanimously enjoy. And then the stories that worked well in the comics, bring the same dudes who did the JL and JLU series, plus the guys who did the very successful comic book runs. Bring those people together under one roof and rejig the whole thing. I'm not worried that if you can't even do the source material page for page, you can even the visual, you couldn't even stick to. You couldn't even stick to the visual. You change the visual, cool. You change the villain's backstory or the way the villain the villain is, oh my god. This at one point, what's the name? Supergirl was throwing blows, and he was just like bam, bam, bam. Ooh, is this Space Joker? Ooh, he constantly did that nonsense. He sat down, he asked for pie. Man, shout out to Marvel for Thanos, bro. Shout out to Marvel for Thanos, man. Yo, what's good, Dominic James 3000? I hate the Flash movie. Yeah, Ezra Miller's Flash was trash. Ezra Miller's Flash was absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Absolute. Give me a second. Let me do this Instagram thing real quick. I'm supposed to have sent out. Oh no. I'm supposed to put a poll on my channel to let people know I'm live. Where's the link, man? How do I copy and paste a live link whilst live? Can I do that? Is that even doable for YouTube? Can I go into my own live and then is that possible? Surely it's possible. It's technology after all. Get link. All right, cool. Put that in there. Pardon me. I don't trust this woman to write Wonder Woman. Again, give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's because of the source material. But if you can't do the source material because it's supposed to be like an easy thing, you're not stressing to tell a story from scratch. Like I said, my first live, I would like to see Milly Alcock continue to play Supergirl, but I would like her in this ragtag team. She fits perfectly well for me in the Suicide Squad because then she can have her people. This whole, she's lost Krypton, lost her family, lost her world, lost Argo City. Yes, she has uh, Clark now or Kal-El. I don't even understand why she calls him Clark. Because my brother and I, when we watch it, we're like, yo, why does she keep calling him Clark? And again, this is where you want to have, really, really strong scenes with her and Superman. Your name is Kal-El. You're the last son of Krypton. Well, son, you and I, the last two entities of this beautiful, questionable, beautiful planet with beautiful people, some douchebags. And you keep referring to yourself as this name that was given to you by your parents. Have that conversation. I mean, I'm going to look at it from my perspective. I don't even know how. I'm trying to find a particular angle so it's relatable without having to bring up any any history with humanity. I'm thinking. Give me a second. 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 Maybe I'll touch on it later. I think that kind of conversation they should have had that conversation. Why do you keep calling yourself Clark? Maybe keep having him iterate. Yo, what's with this Clark? I told him my name is Clark, not Kal-El. Yo, I don't care what you call yourself, Timothy Smith, Michelle, Keisha. I'm calling you by your father's name. You are the last son you're the first and only child of your lineage. I will honor your my uncle's legacy by calling you by your name. You have no idea what it felt like to lose. You don't. You're here, you got a girlfriend, and you're flying around and say I'm saving the squirrels and little puppies. You have zero idea what it feels like. Zero. You got lucky. Just because you're older and he's older than her in this universe. Ah, dude, man. Just have some tense scenes at least. Show the whole drinking thing because she's traumatized. You can still fling some anger. Not anger, but just a little resentment. Like, yo, what's with this Clark thing, son? You're Kal-El. I'm gonna keep calling you by your father's house, man. I ain't doing that Clark nonsense. That's like that Kunta. Yo, that's what I felt like. It maybe it's not necessarily that, but at least just put it in there a little bit because you're showing that this whole pain of she lost her home, which is cool. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, yo, where's that scene where it's like, I wish we were close to Yellow Sun because she addresses it in the scene in the movie where there was a situation where she wasn't close to that Yellow Sun. And she's like, yo, close to the Yellow Sun by any chance? You're like, it's a little bit something like, okay, if you can address it in the movie in this scene, where is that scene where you and Crypto, you're voicing out this pain externally by monologuing it. You little drunk, and then that's where it spews out. You're talking to Crypto. It's when she was asked by the girl, what happened to your planet or something, or I thought Krypton died in one day, and she's like, well, the gods weren't that uh weren't that merciful or weren't that kind. It was a slow thing, and it was a slow poisoning because of kryptonite, and the radiation and whatever, and then they all died slowly and painfully. So that, yes, will scar a person for sure, for sure. But even the way she had said it, she was ready. She's like, "Yo, this is this is what it is." Then let's lock and load. Pops was like, "Nah, fam, mm-mm, not on my watch. How can I let as a parent, as a father, sit here and accept the fate once I, especially now that I know that my is it brother or what um I've forgotten the lineage, the relationship between her father and Kal-El. I mean, Jor-El. Anyway, Jor-El managed to send the son to Earth. We can find a way to rejig his thing. If it worked for him, so I can find a way to do it for you. Whilst I'm alive, my brain is still functioning before my whole system shuts down, I'll do it. That's that whole parent thing. It works. It makes sense. But at least I know personally, if that was me in her shoes, I'd be like, yo, that whole the gods weren't kind or that kind. Where were the gods when I needed them? Why didn't this happen towards the yellow sun? Or why didn't just a little anger like, yo, where was that yellow sun when we needed it? Because there's some times in the movie where I was asking how many Kryptonians went into the galaxy, like the yellow sun and red sun thing. Who was the first person to know that? The first Kryptonian to. How do you know that? You you could say because Jor-El and any other smart scientists on Krypton way before the issue with the planet happened, they were scouting around. This is where you draw a thin line. You need to be careful between half of the planet that wants to dominate and the other half that's like, just because we our biology reacts differently to yellow sun doesn't mean we should go around terrorizing different people. In fact, we could help people with this ability. We could protect people from other vicious predators and alien species that want to dominate and destroy. And what if there's an alien species of machines that just take over any organic stuff? You could have them say, we should go and explore these planets with these suns, or something. Maybe build a suit that harnesses the energy from the sun. Something. But all of a sudden, there were scenes where somebody knows about. I'm like, how do you can't know that? How do you know that? How can you, outside of the people who are the ones who their whole molecular composition reacts differently to the yellow sun? They don't know that, but you as another alien species know that. I was like, how did that happen? Who sent out that message? And Clark has not done. Clark doesn't look like he's now a galactic um presence. Like anywhere he goes, they see the S symbol. Okay, especially when if when Supergirl just showed up, like, oh, well, we've seen somebody with that sigil before, or even pre Supergirl and Clark Kal-El. Let's say another Kryptonian or number of Kryptonians kind of try to pull off a Vitramite thing on other planets, and they remember that sigil, but they had different color suits, maybe black and white, or purple, or pure black, or pure white, and the sigil stood out. Or there's a pattern that they're familiar with, or not even the sigil. Forget the sigil, baby. But then there's the red laser eyes and flight. It's like there's. It can't be that there's so many different alien species with the same superpowers. You guys must come from the same planet. And then we realized it's the yellow sun. There was some things that was too inconsistent, man. Too inconsistent and convenient. And no wonder people were saying it feels like James Gunn directed this movie, because there were some scenes where James Gunn likes his putrid, puke, vomit, goo, spit, drool, this disgusting thing. They love it. Where did these guys come from with this putrid puke nonsense? What is this thing? This goo? Everything is goo. Just, it's almost like, is it some low key sexual thing? Like some getting elixir of the nether regions on someone's body to just want to get that fix in. What is with that thing? It was a scene where golly, man. Another scene where she walks into the bar and there's a bug that's pooping nuggets. I'm like, we didn't need to see that. You could try and play the well. It's just like a chicken that lays eggs, but it's already done. You could do that. You don't have to have, in this planet they have a creature that's similar to our chickens, and when they lay the eggs, it's already boiled. It's already done, and you can eat it from the chickens. You could pull that off, but this was not a chicken. This was this long, huge butterfly. Not butterfly. What's this caterpillar looking thing? And it's just this focus on unnecessary things. You're trying to get us immersed into this world. You can show the different alien creatures, but now you're showing me a bug that poops nuggets. I'm like, what are we doing, son? Am I supposed to laugh, giggle, or be like, oh, that's pretty inventive? I thought I was supposed to watch the story of Supergirl and go through the pain with her and go through her anger and frustration. And then you're just giving me, you're blindsiding me with, uh, let me woosah on that mother, man. Yeah. The one thing that's keeping DC afloat is the animated movies. Yeah, but even that for me personally, they've dropped the ball on that one. Yeah, they've dropped the ball on Gajil. They've dropped the ball on that one. There was a time where you're right. You're absolutely right. That was their main bread and butter. That was their absolute thunder. They were knocking Marvel left, right, and center, sideways into all dimensions and back. They dominated. They absolutely dominated. For some people, when I see them on YouTube talking about DC, it's like, oh, this is comic book accurate. I didn't enter DC. I mean, I glanced DC via the comics, but I didn't buy series and issues and keep following. No, my main flow, like part one, two, three. Okay, this is how Batman's supposed. Okay, cool. The to get the gist of all the characters was the animated universe. Even with Batman, Michael Keaton, or Superman, Christopher Reeve, those are like two movies. They were cool. Then the second one came out for each character. They were cool, but in terms of a whole narrative to say, oh, this is how Batman. Oh, the origins are, oh, the whole the pearls and losing his parents in the alley. Oh, cool. Oh, Joker. I mean, I like the Joker backstory in terms of Michael Keaton's the movie, and even the theme song. Such a powerful theme song, both on Christopher Reeve and Keaton's theme song. Then Keaton's theme song bleeding into the cartoon. I don't even know how it worked. I can't remember how it worked, but I like that seamlessness. The one series I stuck to all the way through, like religiously, was Batman. It took me a long while to even watch through and through from beginning to end to watch Superman animated series. I went from Batman to, I think, Justice League, and then I'm messing up the order, but I definitely remember Batman animated series into Justice League. Then there was a time when they dropped Batman Beyond. So forgive me if I'm messing up the timeline and the order of things, but even that too, I was looking forward to seeing that. That was another solid, because I was like, yo, I don't know how you're gonna pull off Batman old with the future. I Because the classic was just a classic, but they did such a great job with the future one. So those guys that worked on the original Batman Beyond, JL and JLU, bring those guys together. Bring those guys together to do your thing. All this, there's nonsense I've heard on YouTube where it's like, oh, they don't want to do shot for shot and scene for scene and panel for panel because people who have already read the comics or seen the cartoons are going to spoil it for the newcomers who are going to go to the cinema. No, man, I'm done with these excuses, boy. I'm so done with these excuses. Guardians of the Supergirl. I don't blame you. I don't blame. I still feel you can pull it off with Milly Alcock. If you're going to do a second one, fling her straight into Suicide Squad, or I don't know, maybe see her and Mr. Terrific. That could be a nice tag team because of the two different character types. But yeah, Milly Alcock, she's cool. Thankfully, she's cool. The emotional scene where they showed that pain of losing Argo City. I like that scene. I was sat there literally in and out of my head like I want to see how you're gonna pull this off. Because on paper it's a slam dunk. It's a straightforward slam dunk. I wanted more though, but she did a good enough job for me, especially when you're not speaking English. Because I'm sat there feeling your emotions whilst reading the subtitles. I'm looking at your face, subtitles, background music is helping. I'm like, okay, cool, cool. Then I forgot that I was being conscious of what I was meaning reading the subtitles and her face. And I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that oof. Dialogue helps. Delivery of dialogue helps. But when you're doing that delivery in another language that's not English, whilst you're reading the subtitles, you it's doable because how many anime shows are out there where you feel the emotions, but those, I mean, it's animation, so they're going to go all out with animating, and the voiceovers are going to be on point as well because you want to get the characters' feelings across. When it's live action, it's different. But I felt, yeah, they did a good enough job for me. I enjoyed that scene. I was like, yo, that was tense. Especially when I don't know how many other movies out there where someone is spoken a different language in a movie where majority of the time everyone's speaking English, but you get the scene. Maybe because I've not sat down to think of those movies or shows, I'm drawing blanks. But I'm just saying, walking into the movie, hearing how bad it was, having a feeling it will be bad. I thought the problem would not only be the way they told the story, despite having a very simple source material, but I thought the issue would also be Milly Alcock as an actress. She's not a problem for me. In fact, I like the way she fights. She doesn't do this Clark thing where he has to think twice to save a little puppy or a little squirrel or a little caterpillar looking creature that poops nuggets that look like chewing gum. Man, you have no idea how much that scene pissed me off. Then there was this chubby looking Jabba the Hutt dude. There's a scene where she was teleporting and then she teleported underneath his bum. I'm like, why are we, why? What is, there's a weird not fantasy. There's a weird kink. There's a weird kink with some of these dudes, man. There's a very, very weird kink. Nobody's saying because Millie lost Millie because Kara, is it Kara or what? Because Supergirl lost her family. No one is saying we must see this whole movie as sad. There's a way you do sad and somber for a little while, and then the little girl who wants wants her family avenged can be the little light bulb, little spark of light. You're trying, you're trying to the spark. You want the spark to be the a strong spark that lights a flame. So there are different times that you could have her be the one who strikes. Okay, didn't catch fire. Strike again, didn't catch fire. Strike this time, and then boom. Eventually, okay, then she's back. She's, you know what? Thank you. I'm glad you showed up in my existence because it was just me and my dog, and it was like whatever, man. But you brought something out of me, so you can have the sad and somber, yes, but remove this weird kink of drooling this and alien booby milk, and just remove all that nonsense, man. Remove it. Somebody was drooling, and I don't know. This kink is getting so annoying constantly, and it's a James Gunn thing because he did Slither. He did Slither. Good movie, but some of the scenes in Slither were putrid. It was what. Ugh. And I don't know how long. I feel the emotional scenes of her losing Argo didn't land well enough because again, I feel I f- that whole yellow sun thing should have been part of her anger. What's the point of having these powers if I couldn't save my people? What's the point of having these powers if my father and other people didn't say, there were no discussions like, is there a way we can find a way to to go to the yellow sun? How many people even knew about the yellow sun? Was it only the scientists knew about the yellow sun and wanted to keep it for themselves? And I'm glad they finally stuck to they doubled down on Jor-El sending Clark to go and dominate. Such a funny idea, man. My planet is getting cooked as we speak, and I'm doing a FaceTime recording. Kind of get the angle. Sweetheart, come. Let's tell little baby Clark in the future, how to dominate Earth. One, you're speaking your message in Kryptonian. Two, you don't know how he's going to. I bitched about this when that movie came out, and people said, "Oh, comic book accurate." How do you? What is the guarantee that this language you're recording your video in? Who do you intend will teach your son? When you're the last people, he's the last. After this video is recorded and you send him off, it's game over. And we watched the movie. The movie didn't the AI, the machine, the Kryptonian machine or video player, DVD player, Blu-ray player, or 4K, whatever. It didn't play the message in English. The robots used the machine to translate it. And then I asked people, where did the robots come from? No answer. So did he? If he built the I don't know how he's gonna build the robots and then put Kryptonian AI inside. Who gave him the schematics for the robot? Where did he get that from? Whatever, man. Whatever. Whatever. I feel like Batman right now. Nobody has been able to replace it at all. So we're talking about the animated series. Yeah, I mean, even the one that they did recently. What did they do recently? There's one that they did. I think that there's one that they did that I didn't like. It's Superman and Lobo. Superman, Lobo, and Parasite. That was the worst one. That one came out, I think, last year. That was the worst. I didn't like it because they turned Parasite into a kaiju. Why is he a kaiju? He's never been a kaiju in the original Superman animated series. He was a threat. Superman had to push off that dude like, "Ah, man, get off me, man. I'm trying to get away from you." I like that. You ain't got to use kryptonite all the time because Parasite, even the idea of when he said, you know what, I can't keep chasing you around, drain your energy, cause some shenanigans, get depowered, find you again. By the time he drained Superman's energy, he just chained him up. And I'm just gonna chain you up right here so I can go and do my thing, rob the banks and cause mayhem and havoc. Come back when I'm loose, when I'm low on energy, drain you again. You just had Superman chained up like a regular person. That was good. That was very because you don't have to have Darkseid step in yet. I feel Darkseid should be like an end game thing. You have this clown ass guy, James Gunn, come in. You talk about a massive reboot. You disrespected Zack Snyder, and here we are. It's funny how people talk smack about Zack Snyder. Here we are. Here we are. Talking about she's gonna write Wonder Woman and Teen Titans. Teen Titans, I couldn't care less. I can mess it up anytime. You guys mess it up once you do Teen Titans, go. But Wonder Woman, don't touch Wonder Woman, man. I want to see Mr. Terrific and and Vigilante team up. I don't even know who Vigilante. Who's Vigilante? Should I Google that right now? Vigilante, DC character Vigilante. DC Comics character Vigilante. Pardon me. Is that the guy in Peacemaker? Oh, right. Damn, what the hell? I don't know. That could work. That could work. I think that could work. I think that could work because they're very two complete opposite characters. So I guess yes. But I don't know if we start saying these kind of things, somebody could just catch that on Twitter and be like, "Oh, that's a very good idea. Let's get someone to write that in." Because I don't trust these guys anymore. So I don't want to get excited. Like, oh, I would like to see. I mean, I draw the line at Supergirl and Suicide Squad. That's about it. Batman, I don't want anyone touching Batman or Wonder Woman. I'm so glad that Matt Reeves, or I'm so glad that DC Warner Brothers said, you know what, since we're bringing in James Gunn, we're not going to destroy anything else. We've That's a smart move, by the way, because again, they want their money, right? I enjoyed Robert Pattinson's Batman as much as some people didn't. I feel there's potential there, and I also enjoyed the Penguin series as much as I didn't want it to happen. I was one of the people who was like, "This is why the hell am I going to watch a Penguin TV show and not get any Batman element inside it?" Beautiful show, beautiful, 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 beautiful show. The Clayface thing, it could work. It could work if you do it well. Clayface story in the original Batman animated series is very, very good. I enjoyed that very, very much. Doctor Freeze, I enjoyed it very, very much. Um, there's some stories in there that I enjoy. I think there's one more I've forgotten, but I I love the Doctor Freeze or Mister Freeze story very, very, because it's just simple, tragic, straightforward, simple, beautiful. You don't need to change anything with that. You don't need to rejig. You don't need to rejig that one, especially when they reintroduce his character in Batman Beyond. Ooh, that was amazing. That run, beautiful. Because I so sided with him. I sided with Freeze. I definitely sided with him, man. So, um, uh, I don't know. Batman Brave and the Bold. I didn't really watch that cartoon either because I didn't like how they did his character. It didn't feel like Kevin Conroy for me. Kevin Conroy is my guy. That's my main Batman. Kevin Conroy is my main Batman. So when I saw that, I was like, this is not my Batman, and I dipped. Even the Batman, that was okay. I never got to finish that, but now I've got time on my hands. I'll definitely see if I can do a sit down and a rewatch for my Patreon account as well. But I'm not got zero hope, man. Zero hope. Zero hope. I don't trust these guys at all. Don't trust them at all. James Gunn, I don't trust Homeboy at all. And it's a shame, man. These are characters we grew up loving, if not reading the comic books, watching the cartoons. I remember when I watched Justice Society World War II, and then the Flash movie came out with Ezra Miller, and I thought, okay, they're gonna kick ass with this one. Even when I saw the trailer, because I've, you know what, I'm gonna when I do the watch along on my Patreon account, I'm gonna splice in my trailer reaction video for the Flash movie. I was excited. I was absolutely excited for all three characters: the Flash, Supergirl, and Batman. And to bring back Keaton, because I was like, oh, they're doing old man Batman just like they did in Batman Beyond. Bring it on. Bring it on. Not knowing what was going to happen when I watched the movie, because I was like, how could you mess this up? This Flash story is a very, very simple thing. Whether you pull from source material or not, it's a very, very simple, straightforward story. With all this power, I can't save my mom. Gonna go back in time, save my mom. Now that I have this power, very simple. Very simple. Like I said in my previous live, when my grandma passed away, I instantly connected with that story because I'm like, yo, that was if I was in his shoes, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I don't care about what? Man, shut up. Do you have the same powers I do? I've not killed anyone, I've not hurt anyone, I've not misused my powers, I've not become a warlord or someone who would cheat the system and then I own all Google and because I went back in time. No, I just want to save my grandma. I can kiss my ass on that. Talking about moral of the story is or be a good no. If you had my powers, you definitely do some shenanigans. And best believe I'll go back in time and stop Colombo from landing on any shores and stopping anyone from coming to any continent, taking people. Yes, yes. And I won't bat an eyelid on that one. Because if you have my powers, and you were alive the time period where this German dude, gassed a lot of people on holding my tongue because of this, gimmicky platform. If you had his powers, best believe you do the exact same thing or more. You probably, you know, you probably stop that guy from being born. If you had Flash's powers, you would probably stop that guy from being born. Best believe I would deal with Christopher Colombo. No joke. You must be joking. So it made sense when he went back to save his mom. I was like, yeah, yeah, it makes sense. It's a no brainer. It's a no brainer. You must be kidding. So his story, you can't mess it up. And then Ezra Miller just cocked it all up. I'm gonna run like this because I feel this is how Flash should run. Run like this. Yeah, yeah, run like this. What are we doing, dude? You're here to service the character. Nobody. Hugh Jackman didn't say when I bring out my claws, I'm going to do this. My claws, yeah, Wolverine. He didn't do that. Superman didn't say when I do my laser beam, I'm going to do my laser beam like this. Who the hell are you, man? And they let that shit slide. What are you? Everyone else who's played the Flash never did that. No one ever said I'm going to run this way. They bring you on, and you think you're something special. And then the overhead saw that and said, let's let it run through. I'd have sat the homeboy down, stop that nonsense. That director let it slide. I'm a different director. We're telling a story, not your idea of how the person should run. At the end of the day, what hurts the most is not just because you're not doing the characters justice or the stories justice, but it's just the taking of the money. And yes, you can argue back that we don't have to see the movies. But well, we love the story, we love the franchise, we love the world, we love the universe. We'd like to support, and we'd like to show our support by going to see these properties. You would like the people who make this thing to respect the audience. Because when you cook a meal as a restaurant, you're not cooking it for air to eat the food. You're cooking it for people who are going to come pay money to eat the food. But if you're cutting corners and you're putting GMO stuff on your plates and then charging a premium, and you think people should pay the money for GMO food that's not even nourishing to the person's people who are eating it, and you think will be okay with it. If no one decides to go to the cinema, cuts all their HBO and HBO Max subscription, maybe you people will listen. But then again, you have people who go and see this movie and call it 10 out of 10. Some people are funny. I don't even know where people's mental state of being is at. The frequency in the mind, there should be a universal frequency across the board where we collectively say this is a good movie, that is a bad movie. Whether or not you're into horror and I'm into comedy, and you're into comics and someone's into documentaries, we should all be able to sit down and say, nah, that was not good. And I'm not even a comic book fan, but that was not a good way of telling a story. Fire that dude, or we'll not even boycott. We're just not going to see the thing. And then maybe you need to start rejigging your wheelhouse. Maybe get people in charge of making decisions financially who are also visionaries and who also have some form of love towards the the project. I'm not saying be someone who's read all the freaking comics, but have some love for what you're involved in. That's just based on the personal preferences. Those have been my two fave characters. Oh, really? So you're saying, hold on a second. So your favorite characters is Supergirl and no, my bad, Terrific and Vigilante. That's pretty cool. I've never heard anyone say that. That's interesting. That's oh my gosh. That's pretty never heard someone say that before. Mr. Terrific, yeah, but Terrific and Vigilante. Because I didn't really watch what's it called again? Peacemaker. Peacemaker was okay. I was like, it's all right. I missed me with that though. But you won't catch me watching the next season. I'm not a fan of John Cena like that. And I think James Gunn just uses that show to just get out his nonsense and express his kink all over again. These people have weird kinks, man. They just want to see their kinks on screen, and I'm not here for that stuff. It's a shame. This movie could have been really, really good. Creme de la Creme, whatever his name is, he's a trash bad guy. One scene he does something that I was like, yo. And then the story of they're going around and they're trafficking young girls. I don't even know if that was in the original source material. Is Creme a person who goes around kidnapping young any he's not even selective, like I just want Caucasian um women or Chinese looking women in space or Japanese or Vietnamese or Filipino or brown. He's like, yay, everyone goes for his clan, and then they're in the and this is 12A. So the story is like it's this it's a very cruel thing. It's a very dark thing because instantly when you hear that, oh, it depends on where your brain is at. Unlike, oh, Epstein Island. Okay, so okay, cool. I see what I mean. Did we need that? Is that how it is in the comic? If not, then if you're gonna change something from the comic, why are you gonna pull? You know, and there was no. It, they didn't show. If you want to show someone, just like James Gunn did with Yaren Poor with Superman, you didn't push. You just did it. It's like a flashbang. Like you just did a thing, and then yeah, let him talk. No, push. If you want to say this is a story about trafficking, push through. Have Kara just hold this dude and say, yo, so you mean you trying to tell me this dude just traffics? Yeah, then lobotomize. It's 12A. So you want to touch on something, but you're held back with your 12A rating. You gave the movie 12A rating, but you're confused already. You want it for the family, you want everyone to see it, but but you chose to put in this trafficking story in a 12A. So how are the parents supposed to explain it to the children? Because sometimes you want to put your superheroes in a story where the viewers are like, nah, if that was me, I would have done that differently. Like I said, if I was Flash, the Flashpoint story makes sense. I miss my grandma till this day. I have the power as a speedster to undo that. I will do it. Give Flash's powers to Batman. Yeah, before he became full Batman, at a particular age, he wouldn't hesitate to stop his parents from dying. So it's a no brainer. When the viewers watching your movie or partaking in your story can put themselves in his or her shoes and say, yeah, if I was him, I'd have done that. So when Kara comes close face to face with this guy, you're the trafficker, lobotomize. Because I don't need to, deal with it. How do you deal with it realistically, truthfully, in world, especially when someone says this little girl is here to avenge her parents and her brother, and even her character too. My gosh, man. Some people said she was really good. They lied. And the way they said it, they made it look like Milly Alcock was okay. She was phoning it in. But the little girl, she was good. She felt like Groot to me because she kept on repeating this monologue as if she was practicing. Like, is she a Groot-like character? Like her species do the greetings. I am Sarah of House Beifong. I'm here on a quest to avenge my family because Krem had slain them. Another room. Greetings. I'm like, why you? She's done that 3 times. I don't get that. You're not making the character feel serious. This is somebody who watched her family die in front of her. Her house is burning down, and she dragged 3 dead bodies on her own far away from the house to bury them each. Looked like she did it in one night or night's day. I mean, I've never buried I've never dragged a lifeless body from a house, a burning house outside, dug a grave, put the body inside, stones on the grave, let alone 3 bodies. And she didn't they didn't catch fire. Maybe they did, but they cut it. I think the added bonus of showing her trying to pull one body is heavy. extra anger. I couldn't even give them a proper burial. I had to flee the house and watch my family, my family's body catch fire. Since you're going to change certain things from the source material, go ahead with that. Just to add more venom to the little girl to show why she wants her revenge. But she's very House Elrond. I'm here to avenge. If you can go on a quest with me, because to avenge, I will give you the sword, the last sword of my father. Who, man, she wasn't that good, son. And I don't want to talk bad about up and coming actors or actresses, because I imagine if you gave me the role, I'd probably mess it up too. But still, kind of want you to watch Peacemaker just to see your reaction to just to see your reaction. It was painful. Nah, bro. I thought about it. I thought, okay, this would be a cool content to put on my Patreon, but I said, nah, I can't put myself through that, man. Because I actually want to do the whole Superman, James Gunn Superman, do a rewatch of that one. That's going to be a nice rewatch and breakdown, of course. And then I'm going to do the Flash with Ezra Miller. Then I'm going to do the animated series. So I got a lot of stuff planned for the Patreon. I want to do the Justice League for sure. That one I just want to run through that nicely, just so I can see, just a good parallel. Like when I said I managed to watch the Justice Society World War II, back to back when Flash came out, and I was like, how can this one house have two materials? One is a Flash movie. The other one is Justice Society World War II with the Flash character, and one of these two does the character Flash justice than the other one. Pun intended. How? It's under your umbrella as DC and Warner Brothers. How do you mess it up? One is good and one isn't. It's stupid. Absolutely stupid. And that animated movie is done so well. Even the constant external just check up, like, why am I slow? What the hell is making me so slow? Because he's Flash. He's already getting used to his powers. He hasn't done all the cool super things yet, but you can tell he's tested things. Okay, if I do my hand like this, I can do this. So he's already behind the scenes. He's already tested himself. He's confident enough. So when he's running and he's struggling, it's like, yo, what the? Whew, hey, yo, I ain't never been this winner before, man. What's going on? So when the viewers watching, we're like, okay, what is really going on? It's beautiful, because eventually the movie gives you the spiel and the backstory of something is going on. Somebody's messing with his powers. Beautiful, son. It works. It's simple. And for the people who don't even know what Flash is or what DC is, when they go in as newcomers, we see this guy runs fast. We get his plight. What would you do if he had his powers? You lost your husband. You lost your child as a mother. You're telling me you wouldn't use his powers to undo that? Come on. It's simple, man. It cooks itself. You don't need to stress. You don't need to farm. You don't need to till and toil and soil. It takes care of itself. And then DC messed that up with Ezra Miller. How? Maybe there's an inside joke in Hollywood that DC is just going to keep spinning this stuff, and we're going to be like idiots going to the cinema. Come on here, turn on my camera, and start wham like a fool. It's got to be some level of an inside joke. At least if we look back before Zack Snyder and everything else, what worked and what didn't work. And I don't even know if it's I can't even say it's cursed, because Supergirl CW worked for some people. I didn't watch it, but I saw different episodes and like, this is pretty cool. Then they had the Legend stuff. Legend, I think it's called something Legends. The Flash CW, I enjoyed that one. Fell off a little bit towards the end of the final season, but again, as a complete package, very well done. I didn't watch Arrow though, because I was like, nah, my Arrow was from JL and JLU. The Arrow that I got on CW, I'm like, that's not my Arrow, not the target audience, and that's okay. That's okay. But at least in those era, you can see where it worked and where it didn't work. And then when they announced the live action I mean, cinematic Flash. Most people were like, yeah, just get what's his name? What's the guy who plays Flash? Scheiße, I forgotten his name. Give me a second. My brain won't let me go if I don't remember his name. Flash CW actor. Where are you? Grant Gustin. So everyone was like, I was part of everyone. Yeah, when they announced live action, I mean cinematic Flash, Grant Gustin. Oh, because of the CW, we're gonna go for a different guy. I was like, man, I mean, I guess whatever. I guess. But even then, I was thinking to myself, whatever you guys do, you guys got to stick the landing because if this doesn't go well, DC won't be afraid. I mean, Warner Brothers won't be afraid to pull the plug and get somebody else in. And at this point, their thing is just money, and that sucks. We get it. We get it. Don't give me the business. It's a business nonsense. We get it. I get the rhetoric or whatever. But you can balance it well by getting the people who are passionate about this. And if they tell you it's going to cost so and so to do something, do it. You can also make a grounded story where you don't have to pump too much money into your thing. So you don't have to make that excuse of it took 500 gazillion for $1 million to make this movie. We have to recuperate the money and then some, sir. And then some. Yes. Otherwise, shut up. Shut up. Peacemaker and Alien Earth. Alien Earth were out at the same time. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Alien Earth was better. My God. If you say Alien Earth is better, bro, damn. Ooh, it can't be that bad, bro. Dominic, you lying, son. Nah, you playing games, Dominic. There's no way it's that serious. Dominic, a lie I tell. You are telling tales, Dominic. You are telling tales. That bad. Alien Earth is better? Yo. If Alien Earth is a creature, I'll lobotomize that slowly too. Slow. I'll hold his head slow, slow, so you feel it coming slow. Slow, 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 slow. I won't do it quick. Laser, just hold the head. If Alien Earth is an entity or a being, slow lobotomize. I despise that show. I absolutely, absolutely, absolutely abhor that show. God damn. What a trash show. Trash show. Let me send this link real quick before I stop this live. I don't want it to be like, oh, you were live, you didn't tell me. Oh, my cousin. I should have told him I was on. He would have loved to see this live. Darn it. Darn it. Yeah, Alien Earth better than Peacemaker. That's something else. But that means Peacemaker was trash. Was Alien Earth was bad. Bad, 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 bad. 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 And this movie too had some very, very convenient scenes where characters were all over the place, right? There was zip zapping here and there. And that little girl who wants to avenge her father and well, her family, she happened to be in the exact location other people were at. I'm like, you were jumping above. How did you get downstairs? You were here. You couldn't have gotten here at the same time. No, because this character was just doing their thing. And then the same Kremler, Chrysler, whatever his name, just went round, and I still don't understand how this guy could swallow punches from Supergirl. I would like that to be broken down. All these guys, especially like New Rockstar, you know what? I'm gonna unsubscribe because I'm just tired of people. Some people just kiss ass too much or kiss ass in general, and I don't like it because it's almost like I don't even misuse this word trust. You like a channel, you like people's energy, but when you're not honest to say, yo, you know what? I'm a fan of Supergirl, but they fumbled this one. They fumbled this shot. They fumbled this scene. There's a oh, so you see it too. Okay, you see, you don't see us. Oh, you see it. You see it. You see it too. So we just sometimes we just want someone to just call it out. So not like we feel like, oh, I'm the only one. Just be honest, man. But instead, it's like you gotta hold your tongue, like I was talking about earlier on. If you had the flash powers and you went back to a particular time in Germany. I couldn't. You're struggling to even say the thing. Oh, we don't want the platform to shadow ban you. You can't say the guy's name with the mustache. Oh, I'm just done with this gimmick. This world we're in is gimmick, gimmick, gimmick. You can't just even be pure. I'm not saying be a douchebag, but just be clean and open. The movie was not bad. Is this here? Call things out. Call them out piece by piece. And I keep hearing. I saw someone's video. Well, there's about 1,000 videos out there who's crapping on Supergirl. I'm just gonna be different. No, call it out and stop being a twat, man. Stop being a twat. Call it out. Most of us trust you guys, so we run to you quick. We see a movie's out, we go straight to your page. Instinct, we're like, oh, the thumbnail looks cool. 50-50 is going to be good. And my rating for this movie is 2 out of 10. Lucky even getting that 2. I'll say the 1 point is because of Milly Alcock's acting, especially when she was in zero superpower form on Argo City as it was diminishing. And then some of the action scenes were cool. But the little girl, there's some scenes where the little girl was doing things she should not be able to do because you're not a superpower being. So somebody needs to give me a breakdown of how that creme de la creme guy was taking combos from Supergirl, and it was cool. There was one scene I think is already in the trailer where a tank was dropping on him, and he caught it with one hand and tossed it aside. I was like, "What?" Hey, that if he had a Bane juice, that makes sense. I don't but we never saw him put on, tap into his veins, no elixir to make him strong. So I'm like, where did that come from? How is that? And no one's been able to kill him? No one's been able to snipe him from a distance. And everyone is just bad, bad, bad. Everyone who's skillful, who has a gun, who has an arsenal, tools, gadgets, weapons, they're all bad or vigilante, or they're looking out for themselves because in the galaxy far, far away, food is scarce, and it's everyone for themselves, whilst other people are being terrorized and their daughters are being kidnapped. How does that even work in the first place? Why aren't you selective of your harem? Why aren't you selective of your harem? Because you want to keep your people a particular way, but you're choosing any particular type of woman to lay with. How this creme guy has super strength, no one explains. And you want people to go to your movie and say, yeah, 10 10 10 where? Híjole puta. 2 out of 10, man. You're lucky I'm giving it 2 out of 10. Little girl got on my nerves. 3 scenes she announced herself like some house Vitrum or house Tyrell. I'm here, house my father. I'm like, shut up. You wrote her funny and it's not cool. Because these are 2 different characters who have gone through 2 different types of pain. And you can't play. How you introduce a character is how we're going to receive them. If for a long, even if you give us backstory, like, yeah, but why did you walk into the door like that? Then had Supergirl crawl out of someone's from someone's under buttocks. Gosh, shit. And someone has to write this. We sat down in a room and different people have ideas. No, 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 no. When Supergirl's fighting these guys, she's gonna teleport and she's gonna come out from the guy's bum. Yeah. Dominic says I'm dead serious. Don't get me wrong, Alien Earth was dookie, but Peacemaker might be worse. Wow. Yeah, then I'm definitely not gonna see that. I saw season 1 though. Let me be honest, I did see season 1, but season 2 I was like, nah, pardon me, I checked out. And season 1 I was like, yeah, I just felt like let me just see it and see what it's about. And I'm not a fan of John Cena. It doesn't mean I don't like him. I'm not like, ooh, he's in something. Let me go see it. I'm like, yeah, he's in something cool, but I'm not rushing to see it. And to each their own. To each their own. But good lord, man, good lord, waste of time, waste of money. the people up there don't like this source material. They don't appreciate the they don't appreciate the world they've got. You buy things, you go in there and just buy up franchise and buy up projects and buy up studios, and then you have no desire, no love, no passion to make sure this thing you bought that people are attached to, you want to honor them. I use this analogy over and over again many times. Your restaurant that serves food, somewhere down the line you thought to yourself, GMO food. And you expect people to still come and eat your GMO food that they have sensed the taste has changed. Something is different. Also, you've upped the price. The quality is different, the texture is different, and the price is a little more expensive than before. Why should they keep coming? What magic, what stupid, incompetent spell have you casted that you have it in your cojones that you expect them to come? It's amazing. Hubris is a special kind of drug. It must feel good to be high in hubris. What if you smoked where you feel you're discussing in a room how you want to put the story together? You say you're going to take it from this source material, and then you change a few things from this source material. And when you change a few things, you still don't even tackle. I wanted someone to tackle this whole um um child trafficking thing. And do you I'm going to be raw and blunt. You know how YouTube likes to play it, raw and blunt. Do you force yourselves on those little girls at that age, or do you wait till they get older? You trying to do some Thunderdome Furiosa nonsense in this? How? Because no wonder people were saying when Supergirl tried to stop the girl from, you don't want to go down on this vengeance route, is going to turn you. And even she didn't present herself as someone who's like, I'm capable, son. I dragged 3 dead bodies out of a burning building. I'm capable. I got that juice, son. I just need someone to be like a, bodyguard. I can handle myself. The movie didn't do that. The movie did not make me feel, didn't give me this vibe where she's capable. Because Supergirl had to take down those chicks that came in the movie in the bus, where they were showing her abilities bit by bit. At least the fight scenes I enjoyed to an extent, but it's definitely a very, very forgettable movie. Definitely. I ain't paying no money for this on Blu-ray or digital at all. Like I said in the description, last DC live action project where I pay cash for, be it in physical or digital, and say I want to watch. No, I'll be at somebody's house. So you got that HBO Max? Yeah, let's watch that movie. I ain't paying for it. I'm at you. I'm chilling with you. Done. I'm done. I would like it to be a social experiment. We all just say no more HBO Max. You all shut it down. I'd just like to see what happens for a month, maybe 6 months straight, maybe a full year. Just want to see what it looks like. They're going to give this douchebag the same what Teen Titans and Wonder Woman. You cannot, if you can't handle a female character, why should I trust you to handle another female character? This is Wonder Woman we're talking about. Wonder Woman. How are you going to write her? How's she going to fit in this world? That's why I said I like Milly Alcock for Supergirl, because I like her tomboy-ish energy and the brash. Let me say brash. If I was gonna pick heroes to be on my team, Superman, James Gunn's Superman, is not going to be on my team. Supergirl for sure, because she can throw down. She wouldn't hesitate. I don't want someone, squirrel. No, please. Go over there and get your fan praises from Metropolis. It's, hey, I like Milly. Milly is like, I'm like, Milly, miss out. Grab that. She's quick. She does her stuff. She delayed. She did a few stupid things. That's because of the story. How man, I'm trying to hold my tongue. God damn. Shit. It's how they wrote her. And then some people have knowledge of kryptonite. I'm like, how do you have knowledge of kryptonite if other Kryptonians have not left Krypton to come and cause galactic trouble under the yellow sun? Explain these things to me. What's going on, son? How are you guys doing this? How are you pulling this off? Oh, it's the best analogy I could give you guys. Restaurant, man. DC and Warner Brothers, you're the restaurant. You've brought up these spices and these dishes, these meals, these cultural meals from different, just under one roof. We're like, oh, we ain't got to go to different. You just go straight to the DC restaurant. Say less. I like to order so and so, and it's like, oh, it's going to be this price. Oh, the price has changed. Okay, cool. We sit down. The meal comes. The portion is a little different. Okay, no, and everyone's word of mouth. Okay, come here. We check it out, and then you doesn't taste the same like it used to taste. Oh, we change a few things around. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, but we know you're going to keep coming because you're stupid. There's nowhere else to go. We've bought all of it. If any other studio wants to do a Superman movie, we can't let them do it because we own the thing. It's okay to own the thing. Service your audience, son. Service them. You put tripe. And then I still can't understand how Supergirl crawled from a guy's buttocks on alien's buttocks, and someone said, "Yeah, that's a cool scene. Put it in and action." I feel sorry for Millie. They did her dirty in this movie for sure. They did her dirty in this movie, and a grown being crawls from under someone's bum. Oh, but it wasn't on purpose. It's just this machine she had. You hit a button, but the machine teleports you under the bum of another. Come on, cut it out. Cut it out, son. Stop it. Cut it out. Cut it out, dude. There's a plethora of movies on the planet that have done a far better job. This is supposed to be progressive, not regressive. You're regressing. There's no longer any excuses you can use. It's expensive. It's hard. It ain't. Shut up. You lying. You motherfuckers lie too much. Excuses. But you've taken our money in your pocket. You won't refund us. Will you refund us? No. Then fuck out of here with your shit, son. Sick of this nonsense, dude. There are people who are not even professional writers who can do a better job. So much so you have videos on YouTube for Star Wars, for example. Fan made this. Fan made that for Turtles. Fan made this for Power Rangers because they're thirsty. They're hungry to do it themselves because we're sat here waiting for you like some gods. We can't do anything without the Hollywood deities. Hollywood, please bestow upon us a new movie to keep us entertained. Even some people are struggling with money and rent, and no, until I feel you're worthy of our Woosah. Man, what y'all think about black in the comics? Not to change the topic, there's some Mr. Al-Kebulan. Dope name. Black in the comics. Do you have any? Do you have any in mind that you know of you want to talk about? Or I'm down with that. I don't even know how I wanna. It's funny you asked that question because I watched a video today about there's this actor, shit, something Oyelo, a Nigerian actor, and this video was breaking down the dialogue about. I've heard it many times where certain Black Americans are like, how come they keep casting British actors to play certain historical um Black historical characters in America? Why don't you find American actors? And it felt like this. Is that me or did something just flash? I feel like this weird yo-yo thing, this back and forth thing, as if it was up to them to make that decision. I was like, you're even as I'm talking right now, or ranting or bitching or crying, we're in a world where you're not in charge of those things. And if you're not going to address those things as if to say it's an intentional thing, it can't just be coincidence that you keep going out to bring certain people in to play this particular character. It has to be a systematic thing. It feels like it's intentional. So when it comes to certain, I don't feel Hollywood should be the only place that creates certain things when it comes to entertainment. Because time and time again, they've taught us when it comes to certain things, they will not treat it with respect. For example, they're taking people are complaining that they're taking long with Mahershala Ali for Blade, and you shouldn't have taken this long to do Black Panther 2 or 3, especially may so rest in peace Chadwick passing away. People argued just like the same way they changed Batman and Bond, they should have just recasted Black Panther. But because of how close T'Challa was or still is to a lot of us, it would have felt like a bad move on oh, that's what happened. It felt like a bad move on Marvel's part to just recast. It felt like it was done in poor taste. But um black indie stuff, I feel there's room for it. I feel everyone has stories to tell, and I would not say no to any up and coming projects to do with black indie characters at all. You already have your kung fu movies. I don't even know what we have Nollywood, for example, Hollywood, and then Bollywood. I don't know what China has. I don't know what their movie world is called. But every people have their own movie hub. But with Hollywood, certain things are neglected or ignored or thrown away to one side, whereas other things are seem to be a priority. And then when it comes to certain things we want to enjoy consistently, like superhero stuff, for example, it's almost like they're low key pushing this narrative of superhero fatigue. It's like they want that to be a real thing across the board. So now Supergirl sucks. Next two superhero movies people are going to be looking at from now on is Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then Avengers Doomsday. And Marvel, I already checked out of Marvel since what did they release again? WandaVision. Since WandaVision, I said, yep, totally check out. I'm not even here for that nonsense. It's dull. It's you don't care. And it just feels like you have all this power. You shouldn't have all this power. Just like Samuel L. Jackson's character in Jumper. No one man should have all this power. I paid $45 for me and my brother to see Supergirl. Ooh, I didn't see that comment. $45. So was that just tickets only, or tickets plus popcorn and drink and travel? $45. Hmm. Yeah, and before that wouldn't necessarily, it wouldn't cut because it's an experience, right? You're you're going to that's the word, man. That's the only word I can use. It's an experience. You're having an experience. So when what you're going to enjoy and hopefully enjoy the experience of this thing is dull, it just makes the whole process sour. You can't even get excited anymore going to the cinema. It's almost like, oh man, it could go either way. Before there was a level of guarantee. Matrix, the trailer looks solid. People dodging bullets and whatnot. You're already intrigued. Then when you go there, you're like, yo, I can't wait to see what they do with the whole slow mo thing because that scene was cool. There was a scene where someone was doing a catwheel and whatnot. So we're gonna see how they do it. Then the whole thing just like, yo. So this is the story. This is the real world. This is the thing. You sleep like this, and then you have this in your head. And then he's trying to be the superhero. He doesn't make it the first time. The jump thing. That's a whole experience. The trailer is one thing, yeah, you get the premise a little bit. Then you're like, I don't really get it. Let me watch it again. Then you're like, your mind is blown. The whole experience. Lord of the Rings. Remember the first time I saw Lord of the Rings, the poster. I saw the poster and thought it was a biblical movie. I was like, "Huh, I thought biblical movies were played out. What the hell is doing biblical movies in this day and age? It was the statue of these. The poster was there was a statue of these two statues on either side of the kingdom. I can't remember the name of the kingdom where you're on the river entering their empire. So just the way the hands were up, I was like, oh, okay, biblical movies today. I'm like, dude, I'm not seeing this. Trailer came out. I was like, oh, that. Hold on a minute. Those two statues were in the poster. So you mean this poster or this? The poster was for this movie? I was like, oh, it's a good thing I didn't check out. Went to the cinema that day, bought the ticket. Lady at the till was like, yo, by the way, this is the movie ends abruptly. I'm like, what does end up? What do you mean ends abruptly? Like, there's no credits? She's like, no, there's credits, but it cuts. I was like, okay, so I couldn't understand properly. Like, wait, they don't do a fade out. She's like, no, it's not a natural, a traditional ending where the movie's done. It's a three-parter. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Even though she'd given me the heads up, I said, yeah, okay, cool, I hear you. Went in there with my popcorn. She even said, yo, give you a heads up. I'm telling this to everyone because it's a 3-hour movie. We suggest you sippy your drink bit by bit. Don't just guzzle that shit down. So that way you don't miss certain things by running to the toilet and come back. Otherwise, unless you enjoy it so much you want to see it a second time, because she said some people did that. She said she had people coming back to watch the thing again just because they missed certain. I was like, yo, that's good money for the cinema. So I took her advice, sippy, ate the popcorn, dude. That whole day, I was like, yo, this is one of the best movies I've seen. Again, beautiful experience. The whole package is done well. Storytelling, fire. World building, fire. Um, um, Sense of urgency, fire. Then the way the movie, the story cuts in half, just everything is perfection. What a serious movie going experience. I'm like, yo, I can't wait to see the second and the third one. That's how it's storytelling, but you're telling the hero and the villain story has been retold in so many ways. You can't get bored of it. It's just how you retell different elements, different Legolas, fire, Strider, what's his name? The elves, Gandalf, the Frodo, dude, even Gollum. Everyone brought their A game. Everyone brought their A game to this thing and said, we have a story we want to share with you guys. Different cast members came from different parts of the world. I remember when Sir Ian McKellen was doing the green screen scene, he struggled, but they helped him through. So it's like it's new for everyone. And nowadays, it's a struggle to just get the movie going experience to what it used to be. It sucks. It sucks. This movie is a 2 out of 10. I'm not giving it any more points. 2 out of 10. Milly Alcock, I give her a kudos. I give her a kudos. She's the only good thing in this movie because you could tell she's not. Pardon me. She's not. She's trying. It's not like she doesn't care. She's trying, and I can at least respect that you're trying. It's the people behind the lens and behind the pen. And then what makes it worse is the poor decisions made along the way with certain characters due to the poor writing, inconsistencies, things not making sense, and then slapstick comedy, unnecessary things when you want to maintain a tense scene. You set up something to be tense. Oh, by the way, gimmick nonsense. Okay, go back to the tense thing. Oh, another gimmick nonsense. You're pulling me in and out of this thing. Am I supposed to be crying or laughing or being disgusted? It's like too many things happening at once. There's a person who's drooling. There's a person who's puking. There's a goof thing. It's too much, too much. And your villain too doesn't even know what he's doing. Your villain is just doing you're making You don't want the people who are watching your movie to settle in a particular emotion or different types of emotions. This is a guy who traffics children, and you haven't even shown. Yeah, whatever. Like this is part one. I'm going to do a part two. You haven't even shown this need and desire to want to end this guy's life. It's only this little girl that's been best bold enough to say, I want this guy dead because he killed my family." And then obviously, when you hear that, the whole thing unravels. Oh, he killed her family. Oh, by the way, he's trafficking children. There should be an outroar. It's not like he's an immortal being that he can phase through walls and he can just crush you by thinking. He's just another being who happens to be super strong. But no one in this galaxy, and he's been taking children or teenage girls for a while. So we can argue that some of the grown men on his squad or in his squad, his team, have been there were people who were born from these kidnapped, trafficked women. So what does he do with them once? wha- Yo, you want to talk about something serious, but you're giving your movie 12A rating. When what's Let's look into it. Let's break it down. How are you? What is the because the idea is, or the story is, traffic children so they can keep giving birth to strong men. How do you even do you induce? Do you have a thing in your arsenal where once you're done forcing yourself on these young girls, you give them an elixir that will ensure they give birth to men or to male children? And then what's the ratio? Each female, what's the ratio? How many male children can you get out? Because it's all men. There's no room for women. They don't want women in their squad. But you see the importance of a woman, so you're kidnapping women. Man, it's such a what a I would like to see his chart. I'd like to see the board sheet. Like, what does it look like? Each girl we kidnap, forced penetration, and we need each girl to be able to mother five male children in how many cycles? And then after the five, you've given birth to the fifth male child, you bring up. So who's looking after the male children? The women, right? It can't be the men. No, they're far too important. They're out there swashbuckling space pirates. Cannot be the men looking after the male children. It has to be the women that you kidnapped and trafficked, right? To look after the male children. And has there been any instance where the women take their own lives? That means you don't put sharp objects around them, right? Has there been an instant where they know they're not going to catch their freedom, they jump off a ship to their death? You want to tackle something this serious, but you don't have the balls to tackle something this serious. So you slap a 12 on your dumb movie, and then you set up Milly Alcock. So people say, "Oh, you insult her name, Milly this," and you start mocking her how she looks. And you people play into the dumb things that these people are puppeting you in. Instead of you to address the studio and the whole shebang, you're going after someone they chose to cast. It's not like they asked you guys, "What do you think? We have three actresses, vote," and you chose this one actress, but then they said, "No, we're going to choose Millie Alcock." Then maybe you can get upset, but that's still not a good reason. That still doesn't warrant insulting a person you don't know. You're mocking her name and then mocking how she looks. The whole story is incompetent. Trafficking children, and then you don't even break down. Out, yo, break it down. Have someone do an exposition. Have someone ask, okay, so what happens to the women when whatever's done? They kill him. Oh shit! Wow. Because as I'm talking to you right now, I'm like, so who looks after these children once the men have forced themselves? So they take turns. That's why I said. So it's five boys per woman. So that means you have to kidnap ten young girls, right? And then how often? So how long do you wait in between cycles? So that means 9 months, the child is born, and then it's it doesn't. So you're going around. So who is feeding these children? Who's getting the food? It can't be the women because they're trapped, right? They're caged. They have chains on them. So at what age do you then take the boys from the forced mothers and then dispose of them? How do you then train them under fear? So the mother's like, oh, don't trust these men. These men kidnapped us. And so I want to know the logistics of it, because this has been going on for a long time. You want us to feel this hatred and anger towards this villain. We don't like this guy. This guy is mean. Then give us exposition. Let one of the characters in the background. Oh, Krem is a vicious man. He's slain a whole bloodline just to get Herms to build him an army. What the hell does that look like? How many male children per girl that you've kidnapped? Break it down. You want to tackle this subject? Let's go. Let's be bold. Don't dip in and woo, come out. No, go full in. All balls deep. Let's go. Because it's real. This is the second time this DC current universe has tried to tackle something in real world. First, the Yarimpo thing was the two current nations going against each other. So Superman goes in there to stop it, and it's like, oh, Yarimpo is a mirror of what's going on here. Cool. Then you throw in this child trafficking thing. Break it down for me. Each girl, how many boys does each girl get to produce? Because somebody's gonna have to feed those children and feed the girls. That's work. That is, you can't have no powerful army of young boys and growing men when the woman you're forcing into your empire or your whatever your thing, your clan, is malnourished. So healthcare, you got to take care of healthcare. So what weird. Or is it that it's a lie? It's not really that they're there to grow the empire. So that means he's telling lies to people, and people are buying. So that means this man is kidnapping young girls and he's spewing lies. We're taking them away from you to strengthen our clan, our space pirate men. Yes, yes, kind of like 300 with King Leonidas, but not that dark. Not, well, darker, but you know, you know what I'm trying to. What did he tell everyone when he's taking the daughters from the fathers and mothers? I'm taking your child so she can. This one will add to our a batch of other kidnapped women to birth strong men for my space pirate clan that we can use to terrorize you all. Is he immortal? Like when he dies eventually, who is he passing his baton to? Child trafficking, but 12A rating. But you don't want to do it's a touchy subject. Why did you include it? Why is it in your story? Unless it's in the original source material, which you chose to depict, by the way. You chose this source material of Woman of Tomorrow. Dive in. Let's go in balls deep. Let's go in balls deep. Stupid movie. Kills the whole family, let the girl or kidnaps the rest. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Pedro. And then when he had her in the cage, we'll kill this one at 7 p.m. Uh, Even though he took out the other one without any hesitation, any zero, and even that one we didn't even get because he said capture all. She got away. He said retrieve all the stolen women or the women, get them back. Get them back. I'm surprised there was no, unless I missed a dialogue, there was no talk of, oh, isn't there any space patrol out here? Don't you have like the Green Lantern Corps? There may be a character like, oh, the Green Lantern Corps doesn't cover this quadrant yet. Just to let us know there were people who were attempting to do something. So everyone is just under the tyranny of these people when they come, it's like giving your first sons away for war. If your firstborn son is now of age, he must join the ranks of the king's army to fight to defend our land. Some would say, "Oh, that's a noble thing to do." Yeah, yeah. Some would argue, "I don't want my son to go into war and then die." But that's how our empire has been doing it for so long. What makes you think you should be exempt from it? But this guy is going around terrorizing different people, kidnapping, and when the parents fight to defend their daughters, he slays them. I imagine he slayed some families too with the daughter or daughters that he wants to take for his harem, whatever, and he goes on to the next one. And not one person has put us, not even Lobo. And I get Lobo is a anti-hero. I'm not here for my bounty, it's not my problem. I get it. But if there was some talk of they operate here because the lantern haven't spread here yet, then that makes some sense to say, okay, they 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 are killable, so they don't want to get diminished, or because they've been whatever, man. Whatever, dude. Whatever, 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 whatever. And this girl, this woman who wrote the story, is now being given full go ahead for Wonder Woman. And we're supposed to get excited. Wonder Woman? You can't even do simple Supergirl, and you want me to look forward to Wonder Woman. I don't trust her to do it justice at all. No pun intended. I don't trust her to do it justice at all. This is Wonder Woman, dude. She's not to be played with. Even Justice League War, that's a dope DC animated movie. Dope. Tough movie. Tough movie, man. And the one where Darkseid was watching their plan from Planet Apocalypse or whatever it's called. Another I can't remember what that one's called, but beautiful. The same guy who voiced Batman was nice. The same guy, the actor who voiced, is it Nathan Fillion who voiced Green Lantern in Justice League War? What a beautiful movie! And in the past, I wanted them to do a live action rendition of those really good animated movies. But now, especially after Superman and then after now Supergirl, don't touch it. Don't, please, 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 please leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't bother. Those of us who have these weird fantasies, oh, it'd be so cool if they did this episode. I I've put it to sleep. I'm just gonna watch the old school stuff, enjoy it for what it is, keep it pushing. That's it. So I got a list of things I'm going to start doing a watch reaction to on my Patreon account. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, be nice if you could, and let me know what you would like me to watch. I can just about hear Dominic say, "Watch Peacemaker, Peacemaker." I don't know if I don't watch that, man. I don't know if I don't watch that on my Patreon. I mean, it'd be good watch reaction because I'll be pissed off many times. So that's going to be good content for some people, but my psyche, I don't know if I can take that. I think I'd have watched if I had set it up earlier, I'd have watched Alien Earth on that one. I'd have done Alien Earth on my Patreon, but I didn't set it up at that time. But yeah, I'm going to be going through um, Superman, Batman animated series. That's going to be a long time. But now I started with Justice League, and then I'm going to be doing some DC animated feature length movies as well. So I'm going to start with Green Lantern first because Green Lantern's coming out soon, and that one I have zero hope for as well. But I mean, I guess I'll check it out. I don't even know why they changed that premise as well. Oh, now you can have my ring as well. Yes, you can have my ring. It doesn't have to choose you anymore. I thought the whole idea was the ring chooses you. I don't even know if Abin Sur comes, but it looks like in this Lantern series, I can pass on my ring to you, and all you have to do is just will it, use your will, and trust the ring, and the ring trust. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but the dialogue in the trailer looked like it was one ring between Hal Jordan and John Stewart. But maybe it's been like that it was like that in the past, and that's what they're drawing from the original idea of Green Lantern till they changed it. But what do I know, man? I've not read the comics. My entry point to DC was the cartoons, which I love them dearly. So when I hear someone wants to do a rendition of certain, I'm like, no, you won't do it justice. You don't have the balls to do it justice. You don't. You don't have the balls to do it justice. And it sucks. You know? It sucks, man. If I got more energy tomorrow, I'll record I'll do well, I might go live again tomorrow and just do a spoiler talk. I mean, I did some spoilers here and there, but I was holding back too much. But yeah, I like Milly Alcock for Supergirl. I'm glad that this movie made me feel okay, cool. I can see her long term. But just don't write dumb stories, man. And I saw some people saying they enjoyed when Superman came on screen. I didn't. He was boring. But it makes sense people would say that because they like him more than her. He was absolutely boring. I prefer her than him. He was absolutely boring. He kept on waffling on when he was like, "Oh, I don't speak Kryptonian, but you're gonna love it here." And Bolin, and I'm like, you keep talking. You just established you won't understand you, but you're still monologuing, son. You're still going on. Then you talk to someone who just landed here. You're gonna love it here. Bolin, ice cream, Ben and Jerry's, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, KFC, Burger King. No, that's not how you treat this scene, dude. That's not how you treat this scene. You talk in English, you realize you're speaking Kryptonian, you tap your device or you tap your S symbol, you get a robot out, and he comes to help. You got to find a way to make these scenes make sense. I don't think I wouldn't have written that scene like that. I can't just keep just mouthing off and they've got KFC, they got Burger King, they got fries, they got chicken, they got nuggets. No, no. She can understand what you're saying, and that dialogue isn't organic. It's not even for her or for him. It's more for us, the viewers, so we can laugh or we can feel something. No, that doesn't make sense. You're talking to someone who's from your planet, but you both can't communicate with each other because you're on different wavelengths. So just dumping this and dumping that, or you're going to learn to love it here, just like I did. You're going to learn to enjoy Earth. What? No, she just got here. She just got here. Don't just funnel down information down her gullet. Get her in first. Get her inside first. Then, you know? And I thought she was going to say something about the Fortress of Solitude, like she remembers the architecture. But then again, that doesn't make sense because she was born in Argo City and not Krypton, which I felt they changed that as well. I didn't know they changed that. I thought that was part of the lore. And apparently she's younger than Superman in this story. Boy, 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 boy. Mr. Krabs is taking children but leaving the first female alive. Yeah, on Kidnap. Yeah, exactly. You could always return to from. Oh, you got jokes, Pedro. Pedro got jokes. You know, funny enough, I was gonna watch the last two episodes because I saw that they finally season 4 is done. So I thought, okay, you know what, this would be a good time because there was something I saw that I didn't like, and I said I want to do it. I want to talk about it. I want to do a little podcast about it. The two last episodes for this season, because some people are saying, "Oh, this man in yellow came in and disguised as someone else, Sarah, whatever," and then he's puppeting the people. He's pitting people against each other. Pardon me. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I Because I'll be so suspicious of anything and everything if I've been in that town long enough to know nothing makes sense here. So if all of a sudden someone's like, "Oh, don't trust Michael," why? The first question I started asking was, I'm surprised many people didn't do this whole mask drink the Kool-Aid thing to escape this existence, because wherever we are, it's a weird place we're in. There's food to eat. The air is breathable. There's water to drink. We have a house. There are houses. Electricity works. It's a very weird thing. We don't pay rent. We don't pay mortgage. We don't pay bills. We don't we don't do a 9 to 5. We don't have a boss to clock in. But every night these creatures come out of nowhere and terrorize and destroy, kill people. Then there's these talisman and whatnot. And then there's voices on the phone, "Don't go down there. Don't go in there." And then the voices sound like your ex-girlfriend, your wife, or your son, or your deceased son. And so when things start to show up, I wouldn't trust that town easily. If a new person comes in, I would have been like, everyone, this is a clique. We have to be able to assess every new person that comes, in case there's a higher force here that is so wicked and putrid, it wants to play with us. You have to create what if scenarios. But the people there, based on the show or the showrunners, were showing high level of incompetency. Like I said, I'll be one of those people who said, let's gather around, pour whatever substance into this elixir, sip it, deuces. Because I can't live in an environment like that. I can't. Like Boyd, I would have been Boyd for 2 seasons, maybe three, maybe three, maybe three, maybe. But the fourth time around, nah, no, 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 no. Because this town is a very simple setup. It's there to feed off all kinds of grief, tension, fear, trauma, anger, hate, everything that is low vibratory frequency. It's yum yum time. It's a buffet. So why do I want to create that environment for this thing to feed off of me, metaphorically and literally? It fashions new ways to torment me. So best believe I won't trust anyone easy. Meaning we have to create a system where we have to say, this is our worldview in this environment. The fact that food is available to eat, water is available to drink, air is available to breathe, means that there's a leverage of power. We are important to this thing. Without us, this thing has nothing. So that's where the power lies. Yes, monsters show up, and if you don't have the talisman, they kill you. But that we're like livestock. There you go. This is a farm. This is a farm. Farm where we get to feed ourselves with available seeds, limited but available seeds. Because it's creepy. It's creepy that the trees are there, and again, we breathe air. No one struggles to breathe air. So this thing wants us to be as comfortable as not as but comfortable enough. Sleep, make friends, have sex, maybe. Pick what house, what client, what house Martell, house Frodo, house Gandalf. Yeah, pick. Yes, pick a house, pick a house. Ooh, 6 p.m. Time to scare you. Time to eat you guys. Yes, sleep, sleep, sleep. Tomorrow, start again. There's something about that I fully despise. I don't like that idea that many people watch the show and don't peep what's going on. This thing is a cosmic bully. All these things, whatever is in charge, whatever it is, it's quarantined this location. Did it build this town from the ground up? You gotta wait till season 5 to find out. Or is it that it just happened to land here and created this weird dome and this funnel path where if you drive from a particular location and end up in this path, you're sucked into this vortex where you can't escape it anymore. Then there's a little boy in white that gives riddles here and there. For all I care, this whole shit is rigged. So the fact that they didn't really latch on to this whole, yo, get me some substances, take a sip, catch your boys on the other side. I feel that would have been a real grounded conversation to have and an action to partake. Even if you say it in exposition, oh, the previous cycle did it. And Victor, that little boy that saw so much carnage. That means this thing is so meticulous. It needs leftovers. I can't just wipe it. There's 100 people here. I can't just kill all the 100. There's going to be a massacre. But I still need some people alive to 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 take care of the new people I'm gonna send. And then how did the new people end up here? Like where does the town begin its loop point? And people aren't asking they're not asking instead it's, oh, I can't believe Sarah did this, or I can't believe Jaden did this, or I can't believe the Kimono lady did this, I can't believe Fatima did this, or I can't believe you're trapped inside this people's game in your head. I'm not here for that shit. I think anybody who can create a story like From and have you guys drawing theories, yeah, they got you guys good. They've got you guys good in this loop of From storytelling. I don't want to be in that loop. I think that's a little damaging to the psyche. So I'm going to watch the last two episodes and do a reaction to them. Just because there was something that was said. There was a line that I really liked. It's not just a ritual; it's how you do the ritual. I was like, ooh, because I instantly when I thought about that with the bones buried, I thought, oh, this feels like Poltergeist. Because I used to think Poltergeist was a bad movie because of the ghosts troubling the neighborhood. But when it took me to watch the remake and realize that these are mistreated spirits of people whose land was stolen from them, and they're angry, and they have every right to be angry. And you lash out. They didn't lash out at people who didn't. They lashed out at people who look like them, but because you didn't even do proper burial. So it's like, yo, we're just energy, energy of anger just spewing out, and it acts like this. And I'm actually going to rewatch it again. I'm going to rewatch the remake of Poltergeist so I can talk about it. I really enjoyed that movie. I was like, yo, now I finally understand why those spirits were doing what spirits were doing what they were doing because I'm a lot older to fathom it. So from I'm like, yeah, you're it's like you're harvesting fear. Fear. Phone rings. Oh, it's grandma, but grandma has been dead for 5 years. How is grandma talking to us here? Yeah, this thing is feeding off your psyche, and you're not. I wanted more scenes of yo. We need to just end this, man. Take a little something done because this thing needs you alive. Again, it's a farm. It's a farm for human beings to farm fear, feed off fear. Once they're gone, your livestock is finished. So who is really powerful? Yeah, you come at night and talisman. Where did talisman come from? We don't know. But even talisman is a false sense of security. So for all I care, the man in yellow crafted this whole shit, this whole thing with his wicked entities, and said, yeah, we'll give him the illusion of protection for a while, and then we'll chill. We'll catch one or two strays who are out at night and forgot to enter the house. But that town is just foundation is just fear. We're here to feed off of fear, and literally and metaphorically. Nah, that's why I'm like, this is not the show for me, man. And the last two episodes are the best of the whole. Okay, I can see that makes sense. Yellow jacket guy took all the talisman. Yeah, I saw it because he shapeshifted into the girl and just threw it into the tree. And even that, he must know the tree. This story is like, now I see why people are like, yo, you better have a very very good ending for season 5 because I would like to know who built this town. I would like to know who or what built this town, or is this an abandoned town that this entity just came out? And where did the entity come from? Or is this another version of Satan? Where did they come from? And some people say, "Oh, we don't need to know the answer." Yeah, I would like to know that, so that way people don't end up, because you need to find a way to close that loop. There seems to be a particular point that when they crush the threshold, when I say threshold, the road that leads to the fallen tree. It's not just a fallen tree. That loop road must be a longer road that starts somewhere. And then is there a whisper in the atmosphere that gets the people to nudge them to move towards the beginning of that loop road when they get close to that fallen tree? Because this thing is a parasite. This thing or these things are parasites. They feed off of people. But I don't see how it makes sense that you feed off of 100 people in one go. It must be that you take time across the board. Once you realize your stock is low, you get new people. And then if that's the case, if that's the case, how do you get new people? What do you do? How do you get new people? As a coach, as a guy who's on his own driving a car, you need more. So what's the process of getting more? These are things people like myself think of, but because the show likes to keep people in this bubble, introduce new things every time, and oh, like a little moth. Oh, new light, flashlights. Oh, colors. Nah, you ain't gonna get me like that. They got me with season one. Season one was like, oh, this is a cool show. Season two came out, I was like, oof, man, you guys, you're. When I heard they did Lost, I said, oh, yo, carrot on a stick, carrot on a stick. Say less, say less. You're not gonna get me like that, man. Yeah, I knew it. I'm not surprised that yeah, I feel season five is going to feel like that. I- They'll be smart if they don't do it like Lost. If they do it like Lost, ooh, people are gonna trash that show. Just like the Duffer Brothers shot themselves in their own foot with season five. People are gonna trash that show if it turns out that season five feels like Lost, the whole thing together. Yeah, they in trouble. Whatever it is, it can control the day and night cycle of the town and makes lightnings and exactly. So it's so OP, but it still needs them. So it's like an animal that's trying to show you its teeth, its fangs, and its claws, and it's look at me, big. Yeah, it's like after you've done all that shit, you need livestock. So lightning, purple lightning, red lightning, white lightning, green lightning, red light, red light, red light, red light. You still need livestock, pendejo, right? You still need the human beings. So the power I feel still lies with the human beings because the more they dig, the more they're figuring out shit, the more you're shook up. You seem to like the taste of fear, but you don't like it when they're getting close to certain things. So you're strong. You got powers, you got that juice, but you're not supreme. No. You're still bound by certain cosmic rules. So I don't like that some people don't talk about those aspects of the show when it comes to breaking it down. Like I watch Think Story is cool, but everyone talks about the show in the show. I'm like, yeah, that's dull. It's boring to me. I want to talk about the show outside of the show because I clocked quick. Oh, you need us. You need us because the food is available. It wouldn't make sense that you have a town that's on loop, but you eat them and say, okay, how because eventually you're like, okay, how long should we let them last? Are we hungry every day as the monsters? The monsters hungry every day? Pardon me. Or is it just they eat because they want to, not because they need to? So monsters just eat them because they want to. They're not necessarily hungry every day. If they're hungry, then that means there's a system in place that requires you to means you have a system. Despite you being this husk and you're not alive per se, you still need to feed. Otherwise, you will cease. So if you don't eat, do you die? Do you disintegrate? Do you just shrivel up and whatnot? Or has the show even tackled it that if you don't eat, what happens? You just stay slumber and sleep. Because when they sleep, that means they won't feel the hunger. They can sleep for eons. Nah, you need them. So the power lies with us, not you. That's the difference, man. Apparently, two of the characters, Jade and Tabitha, have been returning. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, yes, boring, Just dull, dull. So it's like story walking and reincarnation. So that means that thing has been going on for so long. The 1570s and 1970s and 1950s and 1850s and 15. And no, this thing has, y'all can, yeah, drop a nuke on that location. Nuke that shit. Nuke. Or put since that the man in yellow, as Sophia said, it's not just a ritual, it's how you do it. Cool. Nuke it and put a ritual ring around that thing. Trap all of them inside their own bubble where no one can come in. It's now a closed loop for them. Once you get out, do a spell on them and they're all locked in. That's how this shit should be working. Otherwise, what's the point? You're going to tell the story for 5 seasons. What's the moral of the story? What are you teaching the audience? Not every show has to have a moral. Yeah, but what do we walk away from or walk away with from this show? X Files had its own thing. Game of Thrones had its own thing. But this show, what you want your audience talking about it, yeah. But moral of the story is don't let fear cripple you. Don't let an outside energy or outside source or force uh you know cause a rift between you and other people. Because this one that says I'm in this house and you in that house. I'm like, okay, cool. The fact that they're not even all together is cohesive, or there's a diner, there's this, yeah, but this is the one place where your religion doesn't make you better than me. Your profession doesn't make you richer than me. Because we're all facing the one problem. We're all facing a very, very strong entity that would like to see us gone. It feeds off of us. So the fact you're taller than me, you're darker than me, you're fair skin, you're light skin, you got big chest, small chest, big booty. This is ground zero. We have one common enemy, not each other, not ourselves, but this thing that wants to feed off of us. And it is smart enough to know how to play us against each other. So when those kind of episodes show up, I'm like, nah, doesn't feel like intelligent writing to me. I'm interested in seeing how you're going to defeat this entity. That's where I'm coming from. How many movies have you seen on the planet so far? How many horror movies have you seen? How many alien monster movies have you seen? So, what does it look like defeating this creature? Since it's a ritual, then come together as powerful human beings. Conduct your own ritual and trap this entity inside its own inside this universe with its own gift or with its own tools, and it's done. But anyway, let me go make my dinner. My belly grumbles. I'm done expelling all the energy I could muster for this Supergirl live. I don't want no James Gunn Batman. I don't care. Batman, Brave and the Bold, I don't give a shit. He's not a serious guy. James Gunn is not a serious person for me. I don't want to see no Batman. Apparently, he's found the actor. I don't trust it. I don't trust even any future products. Clayface, whatever. Lantern, whatever. And there's talk about Bane and Deathstroke. What? What? Even Creature Commandos or Commando? What? I haven't even watched it, and I don't care for it. So whatever, man. I'm glad I still got the old DC stuff to watch. The cartoons, the movies, the live action stuff. It's a shame. Once you guys forced Zack Snyder out, here we are. You guys didn't like Zack Snyder. You thought, oh, James Gunn would be good. Yeah, here we go. That's what happens. You adapt a story from a book and you still cock it up. But it's cool. It's cool. DC, Warner Brothers, you guys aren't even cooked. You're disintegrated. You're not even cooked. You're disintegrated because they dare not even say they're going to do a reboot again. They can't. You can't because it's going to make you look stupid. Did a reboot, you kicked Zack Snyder out and got in James. You could have done a thing where you merge James and Zack Snyder together. But I'm glad you're not, because they know they want money. So they weren't stupid enough to say, we're going to destroy everything. They said, you know what, James, you do your thing. Matt Reeves, you do your thing. They could have easily said, you know what, anything that Matt's doing, no, we scrap it. We trust fully in James Gunn's vision. They could have, but they said, nah, we like that muna, 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 muna. Muna, 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 muna. We're going to keep Matt Reeves doing this thing because you want the money. But you keep disrespecting your audience. So for that, I'm officially done going to cinema to watch any DC live action project and pay money for it. Even if they announce a new Flash, I'll wait till that shit hits digital or if someone else gets it through other means before I watch it. I have to be able to trust. I have to be able to trust that you guys can pull it off. Otherwise, nah. Pointless. I think we dead keys and Tabitha apparently previous cycle. Yeah, Mother Victor. Did you watch Widow's Bay? It was okay. Yeah, I'm not here to watch something that's okay anymore, dude. I want to watch something that's compelling, man. I want to like, oof, it's a good show. When you have a frown on your face, like not a frown, like bad frown, like oof. Severance, oof. You know, um, uh, Dark Matter. Oi, those are beautiful shows. Beautiful, solid. Paradise, solid show. I watched Paradise season 1 twice. I watched Severance season 2 twice. Then I watched Dark Matter 3 times. I think I watched that season 3 times. Those are 3 solid shows. First season of Silo, very good. I don't watch OK because I like to be immersed into the world of these shows. I like to invest fully. I'm like, I'm all in. Let's go. I want to feel her plight, his sadness, her anger. I want to feel everything. So when I watch a show, I'm like, okay, nah. Pluribus, when that one came out, I was like, oof, let me check it out. First 2, 3 episodes, dull. I'm like, nah, I'm not here for dull. I like spice. Like spice. I want to keep like, oh, this is ooh, it's a good show right here. Damn. Oh, we like that. Mm-hmm. We like that. Yeah. Not side. Nah. Here, this place. Oh, sacred. I like my psyche. I like to. I want energy. Dullness irritates my mind. No. And my subconscious, I can't just watch anything. That's why I was so pissed off with Alien Earth. Like, what were you guys doing? Chase. Anyways, peeps, I've of course been your one and only multi-potentialite, neurodivergent host, the Cosmic Jedi, signing out. Thank you for watching. Like I said, Supergirl, 2 out of 10. Milly Alcock, however, good. She's good. It's just the material they gave her to work with, trash, garbage. They did her dirty. Your first introduction into this cinematic universe, you didn't respect the actress enough to give her something worth her while and our while. Incompetent. Ladies, amigos, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Pedro, thank you for joining. Mr. Kebelan, thank you for joining. Dominic James 3000, thank you for joining. And also Mr. Assassin Gajil, thank you for joining. And Fire, what does that say? Fire and Knives, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. And to those who watch this video later, Thank you for watching. Layers. I'm tired. I'm hungry too. Need some water and then dinner. Laters, peeps.